really feel like these past few months everybody's been trying to exit their lazy girl era, and I personally feel like I'm starting to get out of it. So I wanted to share a couple of things that have been helping me. These apps have really been helping me to eliminate distractions and have been useful tools for keeping track of my goals and just keeping me productive. By the way, hi, if you're new here, my name is Janelle. I'm 29 years old and I'm finishing up my degree in computer science, and I love productivity, organization, lifestyle, you name it. I basically like to find ways to optimize my life so I can live a happier and better life. So without further ado, let's just get into the apps that help me exit my lazy girl era. The first app that I wanted to talk about today is Opal. Opal is an iOS app that helps to block distracting apps. I found that with screen time, the built-in app in iPhones, I don't feel like it has a big enough barrier for me personally to block apps in my phone. If I remember correctly, whenever the screen time thing would pop up on Instagram or whatever, whenever I was using it, I would just click the ignore button. With Opal, you can't just click ignore. You actually have to go into the app and take a break. And you also have to set the time for your break. So if you want to take a 5-minute break, it's automatically going to block your apps again after 5 minutes. And also there's like a little bit of a countdown before you can actually press the button to take a break. So sometimes I will go into the app wanting to take a break, but then I see the countdown and I'm like, you know what? I don't actually need to use Instagram right now, so I'm just not gonna take a break. The app lets you choose which apps that you specifically want to block. So for me personally, the most distracting app would be Instagram and Snapchat. I use WhatsApp to communicate with my boyfriend, and I use Facebook Messenger to communicate with my family. So it wouldn't be good for me personally if I block those apps. So I like that I can choose which apps that I want to block throughout the day. You can also schedule times for when the apps are blocked. So my scheduled time is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So from that period of time, it automatically blocks those apps and I don't have to think about anything. There is a premium version that allows you to schedule in more times to block your apps, but it's a little expensive. So I use the free version, and one time is pretty much good enough for me. And ever since I've used this app, it has literally changed my life. I no longer am distracted by Instagram reels. It used to be TikTok. I used to have a TikTok, but if anyone gets super distracted with scrolling on TikTok and getting down that rabbit hole, this is definitely an app that will help you out. The next app that I wanted to talk about is remnote. So for any of my girlies out there that like to learn things, whether you're learning a foreign language, whether you're learning a programming language, if you're in school right now, I feel like at some point in our lives we're gonna have to learn something. And for me personally, remnote has really changed the game when it comes to my learning. It's basically a note-taking app that allows you to make flashcards in your notes, inside of your notes. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Anki. Anki is another flashcard app that allows you to use spaced repetition to learn your flashcards. I think it has an algorithm that spaces out the flashcards depending on how well you know the flashcards. But I feel like Anki has a really large learning curve, so I've been using remnote, which also has a spaced repetition algorithm in it, and it just makes it so easy to make flashcards and use the flashcards. I've been using it these past 2 quarters to take 4 French classes, and I got all A's in all 4 of those classes. So this is a really useful app for people who are learning or like to learn. It'll save you time trying to learn how to use a flashcard app with spaced repetition. The next app that I wanted to talk about is Libby. Libby is an app that allows you to check out ebooks and audiobooks from the library. You do need a library card to check books out, but you can sign up for a library card online nowadays. I know I did when I first downloaded this app. I just Googled my local library and I signed up for a library card on there. But once you have that all set up, you basically have access to all of these books and audiobooks for free. And I use this for any kind of book that I'm interested in reading but that I don't want to buy, which is a lot. I'm personally not super into personal development books or any nonfiction books, but because of that, whenever I am interested in a personal development book, I tend to go on Libby to check it out. And I usually check out the audiobook too, because it makes it so much easier to read these books and basically consume the content without having to put 100% focus on physically reading it. So for any of you who really want to get into reading, or you want to read these personal development books every once in a while, it's not like something that you really want to put too much effort in, but you still want to get a little bit of that content from Atomic Habits or I don't know, any other personal development books, but this app will definitely help you because then you won't have to spend money buying books that you may not end up reading. Next app that has really gotten me out of my lazy girl era is Habitica. I've talked about Habitica in a couple of my videos before, but Habitica is basically an app that allows you to gamify your life. In the app, you play a character that has health, experience, and mana, and you basically gain experience by completing tasks, and you lose health by not completing dailies. I feel like in real life, it's kind of the same thing where when you complete tasks, you do gain experience technically. And when you don't complete tasks, sometimes that hurts you in the long run. But sometimes we don't really see that, or it's very hard for us to get up and do something when it just has something to do with ourselves. I don't know why we're like this, but when you see that little pixelated character get hurt for some reason, it means so much more. I've personally been using this app to help me with to-dos, getting me a little bit motivated to get things done. For me, it's just really satisfying to check things off in this app. It also has a party system where you can play this app with your friends. If you're doing a quest with your party, like if you're in a boss fight or something and you don't do your dailies, it actually ends up hurting the rest of your party. So there's a little bit of accountability there, and I really love it. It's really been helping me to get stuff done. I really don't know how to explain how much this has changed my life, but it really has. Like, for some reason, just seeing that little character on my screen get hurt or gain experience or level up, it has, I don't know, just makes me feel so good about completing tasks. And then finally, the last app that has really helped me to exit my lazy girl era has been Notion. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of how much I use Notion. I use it to basically plan and organize my entire life. Because I have ADHD, I kind of have to change things up quite frequently. And with the customizability of Notion, is that a word? Customizability? With the customizability of Notion, it allows me to change things up whenever I want to. And it's such a great way to organize everything. I used to use it for school to help me organize my assignments and write down all the due dates for all of my assignments. Recently, I've implemented an ultimate task tracker that allows me to track every single one of my tasks. I'm also using it to organize and plan trips, language learning, basically anything. You can use it for anything. There's probably like a million videos out there on like how I organize such and such in Notion. So whatever it is that you need organizing in your life, you could probably just like look up on YouTube. I'm not going to talk too much about Notion, but if you want to see how I plan and organize everything, you can check out one of my monthly resets. The most recent one that I've made is my July monthly reset, and a lot of people are really liking that video, so go check it out if you have time. So yeah, that is it for all of the apps that have been helping me exit my lazy girl era. I cannot stress enough how much these apps have been changing my life, so I really wanted to share them with you. And if you've already been using these apps and you really like them, please let me know in the comments. If there's any other apps that you feel like have been helping you to exit your lazy girl era, please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video.